It's extremely tense. Like we just heard before, the fear among locals here is that this recognition of these separatist regions and the Russian soldiers moving into the region could be the start of this Russian invasion that many people out here fear will happen. So it's very tense at the moment, and that's not only locals; it's also the military. Everybody is on edge.
Just give us a sense of, you describe it as tense. There was sort of reports of shelling and mortars over the weekend. With the arrival of tanks and Russian boots on the ground, how are the Ukrainians responding?
Well, you're absolutely right. There's been a lot of shelling near the front line. I also myself have experienced it in the cities there, so it's very tense. The responses for Ukrainian military is to move more military to the region. That's what we have been seeing. They are nervous. There's more checkpoints along the roads leading into the areas close to the front line. And in general, everybody is really scared. I would say. I mean, the situation right now is that we have a front line with a lot of shelling going on from on both sides, right? And at that time, we're now going to have Russian soldiers directly against the Ukrainian soldiers. That is a very dangerous scenario, and that's of course something that the Ukrainians and both the civilians but also the military is responding to.
But I mean, President Putin has put Ukraine in a very difficult position here, hasn't he? Because I say he's moved these tanks in, but he's moved them into pro-Russian areas of Ukraine, and so presumably there's certainly a substantial number of the local population who are happy to see them there.
Yes, I mean, we have to understand that it's in the Russian separatist regions, right, that have moved them into. And yes, there are some extent people who support this, absolutely, no doubt about that. But whether there is support among the broad population in eastern Ukraine, for Russian soldiers to move even further into Ukraine, I think that is not going to be the majority. That's my impression. There are some who will welcome it. And there is a lot of people who don't care, just want want peace, no matter the cost. And then we have a lot of people who are against it.
Stefan, we heard from President Putin last night in this long, rambling address on television in which he made a number of baseless claims along the lines of Ukraine not really being a true country, called it a US colony, a puppet nation, allegations that Ukraine was creating its own nuclear weapons, that it was stealing Russian gas. These kinds of words are highly provocative. Even China and the UN Security Council urging restraint from both sides. What's been the reaction in Ukraine to President Putin's words?
The Ukrainians see this as an attack on their country, because Putin basically is saying that Ukraine is not really an independent country, that it's, there was a big mistake that they ever managed to leave the Soviet Union. And he really question whether this is really a country. It's not something new that Putin have previously, back last year, written essays arguing the same thing. But it of course that he goes out and says it like this to the public. That makes Ukrainians very scared and some of them very angry.